I didn't know what to give you guys originally, so I decided to give you a brain aneurysm. Enjoy! Welcome to a First to Die tutorial in League of Legends featuring Yorick.
Fill the ground with them.
So Yorick is what happens when you take an unused character and make him super powerful, but because no one plays him, no one knows about this hidden superpower. Yorick is a bruiser. He's a semi-tank, semi-carry guy. That's what a bruiser is. He is super useful for sustaining and pushing lanes because he just dominates his lane. He really just if your enemy tries to come in, you just spawn ghouls on him and he takes them for half their health and they haven't even started attacking you yet. His Q is 120% physical damage ratio. His W is 100% ability power ratio, and his E is 100% damage ratio. Not only that, it's also lifesteal and spawns these annoying ghouls which no one can seem to kill. So yeah, Yorick is a super strong, but not necessarily overpowered guy because he doesn't have a lot of mobility. That's one of his downfalls. He doesn't have any abilities that can get him out of a bad situation really quickly, unlike Katarina or any of the other carries like Graves. So yeah, use him wisely and he can be super strong. Your passive is called Unholy Covenant. You take 5% less damage and give 5% more damage for everything you spawn. Also, the things you spawn have 35% of your attack damage and health. There's so much information on this ability. Anyway, your first ability is called Omen of War. When you activate this, the next person or thing you hit, you do added damage to, and you spawn a ghoul that goes faster than your normal ghouls and improves your movement speed. This ability I like to use to catch up to an enemy and do some serious damage because 120% of your attack damage goes into this ability, and that's insane. If you build attack damage on this guy, then you can be easily doing 800 damage. Anyway, moving on. Your second ability is called Omen of Pestilence. You do damage in an area while slowing people from up to 40%. Also, you spawn a ghoul that lasts 5 seconds, and it can also slow them to 20% if it hits them. Now, when you spawn this ghoul, it chases after heroes normally. So just keep that in mind. You can use this to catch up to someone, or you can use this to do damage in an area to minions. Your next ability is called Omen of Famine. This spawns a ghoul behind a target and you do 175 damage plus 100% of your attack damage as magic damage, and it heals you for 40%. Basically, you do damage and it heals you, and it spawns a ghoul that when it hits the target, it heals you. The ghoul you spawn lasts 5 seconds, and every time it hits a unit, if it's a minion, you get 40% of its damage back as health, but if it hits a champion, you get 100% of the damage it deals as health. Your final ability is called Omen of Death. This is your ultimate, and basically you make a copy of any champion from your side, and that copy lasts 10 seconds. The copy does all of the damage, or 75% of the damage, of the unit you copy, and has all of the items and health and such. However, the cool part comes in is if the person you chose to copy dies, they go to the Reverend, if it's still alive, for 10 seconds and can use all of its abilities. So the first item I go for is called a Black Cleaver. This thing adds damage, cooldown reduction, and health. It also has 2 passives. One that removes armor, and another that if you kill someone who has that armor removed, then you get bonus movement speed for 2 seconds. The next thing I get is a mana immune. It adds attack damage, mana, base, mana regeneration, and for how much mana you have, you also get attack damage from it. Also, each time you attack, cast a spell, or spend mana, you get more mana. It's just useful for your abilities, and it's nice to keep this for sustaining yourself, because you actually use mana pretty quickly late game. The boots you want to get are Mercury Treads. They add magic resistance and movement speed. Also, your stuns and such last 30% longer. Useful for catching up to enemies with your W. After that, you're going to want to get a Spirit Visage, which adds a lot of health and cooldown reduction, magic resist. Then a Dead Man's Plate, which adds health again, tankiness, and some speed. After that, it's an Iceborne Gauntlet, which adds armor, cooldown reduction, mana, and has a few cool passives. So, the passives on each of these abilities just add health regen, they add movement speed, and they add ability, like when you use an ability you slow someone down. That's what they do, simply put. Unfortunately, there is only one of these abilities that I managed to complete before we ended the round, because we normally ended the round really quickly when I played this guy. This guy was really good. Alright, so some general tips I can give on this guy are max your E first. That lifesteal is super important early game. I only put 1 point in my Q at level 5 because the other abilities are more important. So generally by level 6 I have 1 point in my ultimate, 3 points in my E, 1 point in my W, 1 point in my Q. Now, when engaging an enemy, put your W down first to slow them down. It really helps with catching up to them and ganking them, or if you're running away. Get your E out immediately after, so you do some lifesteal and you have your damage reduction and damage bonus. Then you put down your Q. It gives a massive amount of damage if you're building, well, damage. If they are killing you and your teammates, ult the person who has the most damage or the most health. Reason being, that person can either tank the damage or give out a whole lot of damage without any rebuttal because he's already dead. After that, you know, it's just normal playing. Hit them until they die. Okay, so Yorick is a new champion, and I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot to know about him. I have tried to study, but didn't find much. But I hope this guide helped you. Thank you for watching this, people. I hope you enjoyed it. And to prove to you that I do listen to the comments, yeah, I'm sure you noticed that this videos are much shorter than my usual ones. If you prefer it or if you don't like it, leave it in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate your help on this. But once again, thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I do appreciate it. Ciao, guys.